Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. All Things Middle-earth here with a super important video on how you can get yourself seemingly unlimited amounts of gold. This right here I'm going to show you. I have 21 of these suppressor spoils chests from yesterday doing very minimal effort. I was able to get this many chests. As you're going to see here, I'm going to open all these right now. This is 1.5 million gold, a ridiculous amount of gold. I can, with that gold, then go into my barracks. And let's say I want to upgrade some troops. I can go over to these guys here, or I'll go to one that I haven't upgraded at all, so you can see just how much 1.5 million is. I'm going to be able to take the anti-cavalry training all the way from 1 to 10, as well as the shielding from 1 to 10. I've just maxed out both abilities on a tier 3 troop. And I still have 1 million gold left. That was done yesterday with a minimal effort on my phone while I was out doing some shopping. I'm going to show you exactly what I did and how you can do that to basically max out all of your troop upgrades and have unlimited gold for hiring troops like Eagles or Fell Beasts and things like that. So if that sounds interesting to you, stick around because this is going to be a good one. All right, guys, I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet because I want to get the information out there so you can start doing this. Again, we're using the Heart of a Hero event. So first thing, you need to go up here to the top right if you don't know where events are. Click here, Heart of Hero. It's live every weekend. So if it's not the weekend, you can start getting prepped for this. If it is, you can try it out. It will depend on what level you are, what commanders you have, and what troops you have available. So if it's not the weekend or it is the weekend and you're not quite there yet, you can use this video as a template to get your settlement, to get your commanders and your troops and all that stuff ready for the next weekend to basically just completely destroy this event and get almost unlimited gold. I did it yesterday while I was out shopping and got over 1.5 million gold. I've already used some of it. I have 484,000 right now. But I was able to go through and max out my guards of the tower, my Dunedain. I could very quickly max out every single troop that I want to, as well as having extra gold for hiring units. So again, we're going to go to the Heart of a Hero. And if you haven't looked at that, it's very simple. You click the attack button here. It takes you to closer one. I've got my Dwalin right here. He's doing the work right here. I'm going to get into what exactly is happening in just a second, but I want to tell you about the ring compositions you need, the commanders, and the different troop types. So number one, ring comp that is the most preferred is going to be powerful sweeping and effortless sweeping. This is going to allow you to do a little bit extra damage to that stationary army there, as well as cut the stamina cost in half. So it's just going to allow you to do more of these in a shorter amount of time without having to wait for your stamina to regen. It takes me about 2 to 3 times of sitting my army in to finish off to completely solo one of these. Balrogs, preferably. Dragons work the exact same way. They just do a little bit more damage. And so I found the Balrogs a little bit easier. But either of those, powerful sweeping and effortless sweeping are the most important. Other things that are kind of helpful is like increasing your march speed to be able to get to places faster, as well as just anything else that's going to help your commanders to do extra damage, basically. But at that point, just those two sweeping ones are the most important that you need. Next, we're going to talk about the commanders you need. The commanders you need, the best ones are going to be Dwalin or Ori. They are basically the same unit. They both have this musician perk with level-headed and relief. You want to have those. This is probably the must, like the healing and the debuff removal is really important. But this Warrior of the Lonely Mountain, which is unlocked at respect level 5, so there is a little bit of a gate here, but they are tier 1 heroes. So if you've been playing for a little while and focusing on either one of those guys, it's not too bad to get them to respect 5 for a tier 1 commander. But this is going to reduce physical damage, and the burn damage they receive is cut in half. And we're going against Balrogs and Dragons. These two, I think, are complementary for Dwalin. They help him to ignore defense, the target's defense, as well as doing extra damage to large units. But I don't think they're necessary. I think the Warrior of the Lonely Mountain and then the Musician and both of its adjacent perks maxed out. And again, as you can see, Ori has those exact same skills here. I just have the Musician on Ori. I don't have him at respect 5. So I do use him for this. And on the Balrogs, he does totally fine, even at level 34 compared to 50 for Dwalin. Obviously, the higher level, it's going to go a little bit easier. Some other things you could note are characters like Gandalf. They also have healing, like the Gray here, different damage avoidance and healing type of perks. So anything that heals up your troops is going to work, but I do think that Dwalin and Ori are the best. But maybe if you've got everyone a little bit lower level and you want to use a few commanders, maybe you could use Eowyn with some mounted cavalry with some of her healing, Ori, Dwalin, Gandalf, stuff like that. But again, if I was going to recommend Dwalin and Ori, either one or both of them Obviously, if you use both, you could speed it up, but those are the commanders and the abilities that you're going to want to use for this event. Next thing we're going to get into, as Dwalin continues to draw over and over again with that, which I'll explain in a second, is the troops that you want to use. The best 2 troops you can use for this are going to be your Master Throwers with their Battler's Bane and their Giant Slayer maxed out, or the Bow Knights over here. These are both tier 3 units with the Mounted and Giant Slayer maxed out. So again, that's going to give you your best chances at knocking this out with absolutely minimal troop losses, basically just getting as much gold as you can for as little of resources for the troops that you are conscripting. Obviously, if you have lower level troops, if you have tier 2 troops that you're using that are like the equivalent for those, it can be done, but this is going to be the best way to do it. So if you don't have these guys, I would, if it's not the weekend for you, or if it is the weekend, maybe start prepping for next weekend, because again, early game, if you try this with tier 1 troops, you're just going to get wrecked. You're going to lose your entire army. It's going to be a waste of resources. We experienced that when we first started playing the game, but now, as has been the case with most people, they're saying, oh, this event's actually very good, and with Dwalin, it's kind of broken. It's kind of ridiculous. So last but not least, I want to show you guys exactly how this looks. This is a recording of my previous run on the last Balrog I fought. I wanted to chop it up so it'd be a little bit quicker than waiting for things to happen in-game as I was recording. But really, really simply put, I send Dwalin out here to the land. I send him into attack. He's going to draw 4 times in a row. That's the max amount of times you can draw on one attack. Once he draws that 4th time, in just a second here, you'll see he'll be sent back to his original tile. So that's why I originally go out next to the Balrog. That way I don't march all the way back home. It wouldn't be a big deal if you're not that far from it. But then you send your hero or heroes in again. They will then draw however many more times are necessary. In this specific instance, I actually had to send him in a 3rd time. I took a total of 9 different encounters for Dwalin to take this out. But with the sweeping stamina perk that we went into, it only was equal to 3 times of actually sending him in to sweep. So it tossed 30 stamina. We took down this Balrog. We had absolutely minimal troop lossage, and that's it. You do this very casually. I did not try that hard at all. And as you saw at the beginning, I had 1.5 million gold easily. I've maxed out a ton of troops. It is simply, it's really amazing. So definitely get this a try. Again, remember, all the same restrictions apply for sweeping normally. You have to have adjacent tiles next to them, so just be aware of that. If they're outside of a fort or your settlement that you have, you might have to put down a new fort if you really want to take that one out, but maybe just wait for one to refresh. But depending on your time, you might have to be creative with it. And you can also coordinate with faction and fellowship members, because the top 5 people are all going to get that same reward. So if you coordinate with 5 people and can take this out, you could get it done even faster and theoretically do even more. Obviously, it's just a little bit easier to do by yourself and not that hard to solo them with Dwalin. So definitely, I would say give this a try. If you can get people on board, great. If not, give it a shot yourself and you are going to get some serious gold. But that's going to do it for me in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to hit that subscribe button to join our fellowship here on YouTube. Also, I stream over on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Link to that is in the description. I'd love to see you over there. And hopefully you get some crazy gold from Heart of a Hero in future weeks.